The Michigan Theater is an icon for the city of Ann Arbor. The theater was commissioned by Angelos Paulos and designed by architects Maurice Finkel of Detroit. When speaking of the theater, Finkel referred to it as a shrine to art, not built for today only, but constructed in the hopes that it might be a monument for years to come, and a credit to the community even when the city is many times its present size. Hello, I'm Christine Novoselic from the architecture firm of Mitchell & Mowat, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the history of the Michigan Theater. The theater opened to the public on January 5, 1928, in the midst of the vaudeville era. At the time, the theater was host to silent movies, concerts, touring theater companies, and vaudeville performances. Among the many performers who came to the Michigan are Jack Benny, Bing Crosby, and Ethel Barrymore. The Liberty Street facade of the building consists of a row of 7 street-level shops with office space above. The theater was designed in the Lombard Romanesque Revival style, as can be seen by the exterior arcade windows with round, yellow terracotta arches supported by slender Moorish columns. The domed pier caps are another feature of the facade that lend itself to the Romanesque style. The domes were removed in the 1950s renovation, but were recently restored. In 1956, the Butterfield Theater Company decided to modernize the theater to draw more crowds. The facade was covered with steel and glass, and the octagonal ticket booth was removed. The interior plasterwork was covered with aluminum, green polished marble, and a false ceiling. A marquee was added in the 1950s, but was replaced with the one you see now during the restoration. The original marquee was much larger than the one seen today. The smaller marquee with the vertical element allows more of the architectural details on the building to be revealed. I'm now standing in front of the ticket booth, just right outside of the main entry doors to the theater. In 1982, the city of Ann Arbor purchased this theater and started a 3-phase renovation and restoration. In the restoration, the octagonal ticket booth was restored using the original architectural specifications, which includes wood paneling and marble accents. The drop ceiling in the foyer was removed and the plaster details were restored with metallic leaf and original paint colors. The vestibule restoration includes custom milled, historically accurate trim work for the show glasses and intricate metal work for the ceiling coffers and the underside of the marquee. Once you pass the ticket booth, you enter into the outer lobby. The outer lobby was part of the 1999 restoration and includes metal trim work and gold leaf painting that was beautifully restored with historically accurate colors. The magnificently detailed 2-story lobby was restored with lighting paneling carpet to match the original design. The dual grand staircases lead up to the balcony, which features gold-painted plaster medallions atop of Corinthian detailed columns and a grand vaulted ceiling with octagonal coffers. As you can see some of the similar patterns in the metal detail work which follow all the way from the vestibule up into the balcony. The 1,700-seat theater space is a live house designed in the silent film era when movies were shown with live musical accompaniment. There are excellent acoustics that lend the space to live performances, and the theater has been home to the Ann Arbor Symphony Orchestra since 1984. The Romanesque Revival style reveals itself in the theater with the gold leaf lattice patterns on the walls, alcoves, and ceiling. The theater is home to the fully restored 1927 Barton Theater pipe organ, and it's the Organ Society that really started the restoration of the theater itself. The theater still has live organ concerts before movies on Sundays. And now we're standing on the stage, and at the view from this vantage point, imagine that you're Jack Benny telling jokes in the 50s or Robert Bradley rocking out just recently. This is a great performance space, and anyone would be proud to play here. As you make your way from the main lobby into the screening room, you pass through the Ford Gallery of Ann Arbor Founders. The plaques on the wall represent Ann Arbor's history through the years, and important people that have made this city what it is today. The final phase of the restoration and rehabilitation was the addition, which includes the screening room, concessions area, restrooms, and office space, completing in 1999. The screening room holds 200 seats and has a 28 by 16-foot screen. The painted murals on the walls gives the theater a unique character. They represent area movie theaters that no longer exist. The screening room holds a fully restored vintage Hammond C2 electric organ. As you can see, the Michigan Theater truly is a cultural icon for the city of Ann Arbor. They just recently won the 2006 Outstanding Historic Theater Award from the League of Historic Theaters, and they draw a crowd of about 250,000 people a year. For all their events, they have local and national acts that come here. And it's an architectural treasure, and it's a great thing for the city to behold.